Hi everyone, and welcome to this 15-minute Cloud Backup Dashboard power session. I'm excited to show you how Infrascale Cloud Backup simplifies endpoint and server protection. This is a live walkthrough, no slides, just a real dashboard. So you will see exactly how you manage data protection, recovery, and reporting in a single pane of glass. We'll keep it short and focused, covering 4 areas: key features and benefits of our cloud backup solution, how to safeguard files and folders, retention, recovery, and compliance, our unlimited model, and best practice to streamline operation and reporting. So when you first log into the Infrascale dashboard, this is what you will see: a centralized command center showing every backup job, endpoint details, and the company you manage. It's designed to give you immediate visibility, what succeeded, what's in use, and what needs your attention. One of the first things that stands out about our cloud backup solution is unlimited scalability. You can add unlimited endpoints, let it be a laptop, desktop, servers, cloud workload, all managed right here in one place. There is no hidden per device limits, and that's a huge differentiator compared to other vendors. The first step, what we do here is that we onboard the user to our dashboard by creating a company. So when you click on company, it gives you an option to create the company. And while creating the company, you can create an admin backup account, which helps the administrator to manage all the backup accounts within the company. You provide a company name, allocate the storage, and let's say you're managing the solution for your end user, you're going to keep this box checked. If the end user is going to manage the solution, you'll uncheck it and then create the company. Once the company is created, the company will be visible under the company tab, and it will give you the company name, whether you have the access to manage the solution or it is locked. So it'll show a key and a lock icon there based on how it is managed, the company administrator name, the email address, what is the quota allocated, what is being used, and the percentage, etc. So it gives you an overview of the company. So next is the security, right? So for security standpoint, all data is encrypted with AES-256 encryption during transit and rest. We also have the multi-factor authentication, which needs to be configured so that it provides the first line of defense for the dashboard account and for the data. Dashboard is a multi-tenanted, so you can create multiple dashboard accounts if there are multiple IT guys or the IT administrator who is going to manage. You also can define roles and permissions for each user whom you're going to provide a dashboard account. So the dashboard is a multi-tenanted, and you can assign specific roles and permission to manage the solution. Now, let's talk about how we safeguard the files and folders. First step, we need to create a backup account under a company in order to back up those endpoint devices. To create the backup account under the endpoint backup, we have backup accounts tab. You click on that, go to create backup account, and select the company and provide the user credentials and details. Assign specific storage for each account. Okay, and let's say you want to restrict the end user to delete the data from the cloud, which provides you a kind of immutable backup where deletion is restricted. You can enable limited rights and then click on create. The backup account gets created, and under the backup accounts tab, it shows all the account which has been created, the amount of storage which is allocated, and what is being used, who is the admin, what is the email address associated with that account, and it gives you a lot of option to manage the account, like adding more policies, making changes to the account storage quota, whether you want to decrease or increase, reset the password, or you want to manage the storage for that particular account using the cleanup account, you can do multiple actions on the backup account. After you create the backup account, next step is to create a backup policy so that you assign the policy. Policy is nothing but you're defining what needs to be backed up, how it needs to back up, and when it needs to back up. So under the policy, when you click on add new policy, you'll provide a policy name. You will select what are the documents, images, video, music file needs to be backed up. Let's say you want to have some custom configuration. You can put those file extension here under the custom. You want to include some files and you want to exclude some files to save space. You can add them like you don't want to back up the temporary file, so or the system file. So you can add those filters here. And let's say you want to back up specific important files on a regular basis. When there is a change on that file, you can use our live protect feature, then add this frequency there: hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay, once the frequency is added, then you want to use the internet usage limits, you can go ahead and use those options and click on apply. That creates the policy where you can go to the backup account, and under the manage policy, you can add the policy to that backup account. Now, as an IT administrator, it becomes very difficult for someone to install the agent on each system when there are a lot of endpoints needs to be backed up. Okay, so to make that administration easy, we have something called build MSI. So there's a custom build MSI tool which can be created, okay, which can be used to create the MSI package. So you can name the package, select what policy you want to attach that, use username template where it is a device-based user backup account, or it's a email address-based backup account, or name-based. So you can specify how you want to create the backup account, how much storage you want to allocate to each backup account. You want to install the agent without notifying the end user, or if you want to notify the installation, you can enable this box and generate the MSI. You download the MSI, use your AD domain or a AD server or a domain to push the agent to each machine, where it will install the agent, configure the backup account, attach the storage, attach the policy, and start backing up those endpoint device based on the policy what you attached. That's how you perform the backups. Once the backups are completed, you want to check the backup status. Under the endpoint backup, you have backup status. Backup status gives you all the information about all the endpoint devices which are being backed up under a company or under a product. Okay, so you can use the filter option to filter and see check the backup history. On the overview, it gives you the last 5 backups information, and you want to get the in detail history of all backups. You click on the last restore point of that particular endpoint device. If you click that, it will show all the backup history of that endpoint backup. Further, let's say you want to cancel an active backup, you want to run an immediate backup, or if there are some errors, you want to download the logs and view the logs, is available under the protected device. And we have another feature called wipe data, where you can, if the device is lost or stolen, you can use the wipe data to delete the data with that particular endpoint, or wipe device to completely clean up the operating system to safeguard your data. Now let's go to the next part. It's about how you perform retention, how you perform recovery, and what are the compliance, right? So when it comes to retention, our solution provides unlimited retention and unlimited recovery flexibility. Most backup providers limit how long you can keep the data. It can be 30 days, 90 days, maybe 365 days, and charge extra if you need longer. With Infrascale, we take completely a different approach. Your retention is unlimited. Every version, every restore point stays available for as long as you need it. So let's see how you can perform recovery. In order to perform recovery from the dashboard, you go to the endpoint backup accounts, and you have to log in to the backup account. Once you're logged into the backup account, you have the cloud data option where you click on that, and it gives you the endpoint devices which have been backed up under that account. Let's say I want to perform a restore from a particular device. You click on the device and it shows what it's backing up. So from this device, I'm backing the C drive. You click on the C drive. Within C drive, I can go ahead and either I can restore the entire C drive, or I want to restore a specific files. You can further browse the data. So you go to the, you can browse further, and when you are performing a restore, you can download the data within the browser, or you can perform a remote recovery. This would help an IT administrator to perform restore whenever there is a restore request comes in. You can specify where exactly the data needs to be restored, and you can perform the restore, or let's say use the share option to share it via email. I want to highlight one more thing here, the version. So Infrascale keeps all the version of the file which is backed up. That means every version of every file can be restored. You can restore from any point in time, whether that was last week or last year. So no more worrying about limited snapshot or losing historical versions. Our solution keeps all for you automatically. This is critical for an organization that must meet compliance standards like GDPR, HIPAA, or financial record or retention laws, right? So where data deletion is not an option. So you select the restore, the version which you want to restore, and perform the restore. And since the versioning is unlimited, you can restore from any historical backup point. Our recovery is fast and simple, where you are restoring a single file or an entire directory. Now let's understand the best practice for day-to-day operation of our cloud backup solution. Always standardize the backup policy for the endpoint, the servers, or the users. So that makes things easy to bifurcate the data and restore the data whenever required. Automated reports. So under settings, we have the monitoring option, which gives you which gives all the reports based on what you have configured. First thing, you have to subscribe for the report. Then you can select what kind of report you need. Okay, so this keeps IT management informed without any manual work. So alerts or failed or missed backups are notified instantly to the IT administrator, so they can take necessary action. With our solution, we also offer anomaly detection for ransomware, and also we scan for known ransomware, and we generate those reports and send you those reports to take necessary action, perform those clean, and restore the data successfully with our versioning capabilities. And always test restore regularly, so that you so it gives you the confidence, and it validates the data integrity and builds trust with your users. So to wrap up, the Infrascale Cloud Backup Dashboard gives you the capability to manage all the workloads. It provides unlimited endpoints, unlimited retention, and unlimited versioning. That the data is encrypted with AES 256 encryption during transit and rest. It gives you fast, flexible backup and recovery, and centralized visibility across your entire backup environment. It is easy to deploy, effortless to manage, and gives you complete control over your data protection from a single dashboard. If you haven't already checked or tested the solution, I would request you to log into the Infrascale dashboard, create a company, create a backup account, backup, and perform recovery, and you will see how simple and powerful really it is. Thank you so much for joining this session today. Have a wonderful day.